The crystal chandeliers of the 2026 Golden Globes shone brightly. The red carpet overflowed with luxury gowns and flashing cameras. Yet one absence echoed louder than any applause inside the room. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were not there. And somehow, that absence became the most talked-about presence of the night. Before we go any further, if you follow celebrity news, pop culture power moves, and the stories that unfold behind closed doors, stay with this until the end, because one detail from this night quietly changed how influence is measured in Hollywood. Award shows are built on visibility. Who arrives, who poses, who takes the stage. But this year, the Golden Globes defied that formula. While actors, directors, and producers filled the ballroom, conversations kept circling back to two names that never appeared on the seating chart. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce dominated whispered exchanges, trending charts, and media headlines, proving that in today's culture, showing up is optional, commanding attention is not. As the ceremony unfolded, subtle moments amplified the tension. A familiar Taylor Swift song played softly as background music during a transition. Slow down, zoom in. Reactions rippled across the room. Heads turned. Phones were discreetly unlocked beneath tables. Within minutes, online searches for Taylor Swift Golden Globes spiked dramatically. She wasn't nominated. She wasn't performing. Yet her influence filled the space, invisible but unmistakable. Travis Kelce's name followed closely behind. Known globally as an NFL superstar, his connection to Taylor Swift has propelled him into a different cultural orbit altogether. Commentators, guests, and viewers at home weren't just talking about an athlete or a pop icon. They were talking about a modern power couple whose reach extends far beyond music charts or football stadiums. The Golden Globes became a backdrop to that larger narrative. Speculation intensified as the night went on. Why didn't they attend? Was it a scheduling conflict, a strategic choice, or a deliberate statement? Entertainment outlets raced to publish updates, while social media fed on the uncertainty. Every unanswered question increased engagement. Cut faster. Shift tempo. The mystery itself became the headline. Midway through the event, a brief unscripted moment added fuel to the fire. A guest's off-mic comment, picked up faintly by nearby microphones, referred to the people who didn't come, but still stole the night. That single line spread rapidly online, quoted and reposted thousands of times. It captured what everyone was thinking. Taylor Swift didn't need a seat in the ballroom to dominate the narrative. Behind the scenes, industry insiders hinted that her name surfaced during private conversations among producers and executives. Not as a nominee, not as a performer, but as a cultural benchmark. Someone whose impact defines the era. Travis Kelce, standing at the intersection of sports, entertainment, and mainstream celebrity, was increasingly discussed as part of that same phenomenon. Together, they represent a new kind of influence, one that thrives on anticipation rather than appearance. Visuals from the night told the story in parallel. Headlines refreshed in real time. Trending graphs climbed. Fan reactions poured. In relentlessly layering curiosity on top of curiosity. Each refresh revealed the same pattern. Their names were climbing faster than the winners' lists. Pattern interrupt. Hard cut. While acceptance speeches echoed through the hall, the real-time conversation online had already shifted elsewhere. As the ceremony moved closer to its final stretch, the atmosphere inside the ballroom subtly changed. Applause softened, conversations grew looser, and the sense of formality began to fade. Yet outside that room, on screens, timelines, and search engines, the intensity only increased. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were now being framed not as absentees, but as the central story. Analysts pointed out that this wasn't accidental. In an era where attention is currency, silence can be louder than any statement. Entertainment journalists began connecting the dots. Taylor Swift, fresh off a historic era of record-breaking sales and cultural dominance, no longer needs award show validation to remain relevant. Her brand operates on a different frequency, one driven by narrative control, timing, and mystery. Travis Kelce, meanwhile, has evolved from sports icon to mainstream celebrity, bridging two massive audiences. Together, Their combined visibility creates a gravitational pull that even an institution like the Golden Globes cannot escape. Slow zoom. Lower the music. One media analyst summarized it bluntly. The Golden Globes needed Taylor Swift more than Taylor Swift needed the Golden Globes. That observation spread fast, igniting debates about the future of award shows in a digital-first culture. Are ceremonies still the ultimate stage? Or have they become just another setting where online conversation decides the real winners? As the final awards were announced, another wave of headlines dropped almost simultaneously. Multiple outlets reported that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were among the most searched public figures during the broadcast window. Not just in entertainment news, but across all categories. The data was clear. Viewers weren't just watching the show. They were multitasking, scrolling, searching, and speculating. The payoff landed quietly but decisively. When the lights dimmed and the credits rolled, the Golden Globes concluded as scheduled. Yet the post-show narrative told a different story. The most enduring takeaway wasn't a surprise win or an emotional speech. It was the realization that two people who never walked the red carpet had effectively owned the night. This moment marked something bigger than celebrity gossip. It highlighted a shift in how cultural power operates. Presence is no longer physical. Influence is no longer confined to stages or podiums. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce demonstrated that relevance today is built through anticipation, scarcity, and conversation. Strategies that keep audiences engaged long after the cameras stop rolling. And as fans and critics alike dissected every angle of their absence, one truth became impossible to ignore. If they can dominate one of Hollywood's biggest nights without attending, the question isn't whether their influence will continue. It's how far it will extend next. Because in the end, the 2026 Golden Globes didn't just celebrate film and television. Quietly confirmed something else. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are no longer just part of pop culture. They are shaping it. Now the spotlight turns forward. What happens when the most talked about figures choose silence over spectacle? Will their next appearance break records simply because of the wait? Stay locked in, keep watching the conversation, and don't look away. Because the story surrounding Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce is still unfolding, and the next chapter may arrive when no one expects it to. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the audience hooked. Because what happened at the Golden Globes was not accidental, and it wasn't random. It was a masterclass in modern celebrity gravity. In previous eras, absence meant irrelevance. If you didn't show up, you disappeared from the headlines. But this night proved the opposite rule now applies. When Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stayed away, they didn't leave a void. They created a vacuum. And every camera, every conversation, every algorithm rushed in to fill it. Inside industry circles, the discussion shifted quickly from gossip to strategy. Publicists, producers, and executives quietly acknowledged what many had already suspected. Taylor Swift has transcended the traditional awards ecosystem. She exists in a category where recognition follows her, not the other way around. Travis Kelce's presence in that orbit only amplifies the effect, merging sports fandom, pop music loyalty, and mainstream celebrity culture into one unstoppable stream of attention. Abrupt tempo change, cut from the ballroom to living rooms around the world. Viewers weren't debating who deserved Best Actor. They were asking why Taylor wasn't there, why Travis wasn't beside her, what it meant. And meaning in the attention economy is everything. Some speculated the absence was logistical. Others argued it was intentional, a quiet statement that they no longer need to participate in the ritual to validate their status. The truth may sit somewhere in between, but the result was undeniable. Their silence became louder than any acceptance speech that night. And silence, when paired with curiosity, becomes narrative fuel. As post-show coverage flooded the internet, headlines began to echo the same theme using different words. Absent but unavoidable. The couple who dominated without appearing. The Golden Globes' biggest story wasn't on stage. Each article fed the algorithm, and the algorithm fed the obsession. Zoom in on the cycle. Attention breeds coverage. Coverage breeds curiosity. Curiosity breeds more attention. What made this moment especially powerful was timing. Taylor Swift is at a point in her career where every move or non-move is interpreted as intention. Fans dissect patterns. Media tracks silence. Every gap becomes a clue. Travis Kelce, now fully embedded in pop culture discourse, mirrors that effect. Together, they've created a feedback loop where speculation sustains engagement without requiring constant output. By the following morning, analytics told a story that awards themselves could not. Engagement spikes, search dominance, and social traction all pointed in the same direction. The Golden Globes may have crowned winners, but the internet crowned relevance. And relevance, unlike trophies, doesn't collect dust. This wasn't just about Taylor Swift missing an awards show. It was about the shifting center of cultural gravity. Award ceremonies were once the final word. Now, they are one node in a much larger network where attention flows freely, and often unpredictably. Taylor and Travis sit at the center of that network, whether they participate or not. Slow fade, then sharp cut back in. The real question emerging from this night isn't about the Golden Globes at all. It's about power, who holds it, how it's exercised, and how it's maintained without overexposure. Because overexposure dulls interest, but restraint sharpens it. By choosing absence, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce allowed imagination to do the work. They let audiences project, speculate, and debate. And in doing so, they stayed present in a way that felt organic rather than forced. That balance is rare, and it's why the conversation didn't end when the broadcast did. Days later, the Golden Globes were already fading from trending lists, but their names remained, still circulating, still discussed, still driving clicks. That's the real payoff. Not applause in a room, but sustained relevance in a crowded digital landscape. And here's where the story locks in its final tension. If this level of dominance is possible through absence alone, what happens when they choose to reappear? When they step back into the spotlight on their own terms? The anticipation is already building, quietly, invisibly, just like it did on that night. Because one thing is now clear. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce didn't skip the Golden Globes. They redefined it. And in doing so, they reminded the world that the most powerful presence is sometimes the one you feel, even when no one is there to see it. And that loaded silence continues to echo far beyond a single night, stretching into the days, weeks, and conversations that followed. Because what lingered after the Golden Globes was not confusion, it was fascination. A fascination rooted in the realization that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce now operate on a level where traditional metrics struggle to keep up. The entertainment industry has always been driven by visibility, but visibility today is fragmented. It lives in clips, quotes, screenshots, and half-heard conversations. It thrives in moments that feel accidental but are anything but. Taylor Swift understands this better than almost anyone. Her career has been defined not only by music, but by narrative timing, knowing when to speak, when to disappear, and when to let the world fill in the gaps. That night, the gap was enormous, and everyone rushed to fill it. Producers replayed the broadcast, noting how often her name surfaced indirectly. Journalists rewrote leads to include her absence. Social media creators clipped reaction shots and layered them with speculation. Even viewers who tuned in with no expectation of hearing about her found themselves pulled into the conversation. That's the power of cultural saturation, not fatigue, but inevitability. Travis Kelce's role in this dynamic is equally telling. Once discussed strictly in sports circles, he now moves fluidly through entertainment discourse. His absence beside Taylor didn't weaken the narrative. It strengthened it. The idea of them together, unseen but constantly referenced, created a shared curiosity that bridged audiences. NFL fans, pop music listeners, celebrity watchers, all tuned into the same question without realizing it. Tempo shift. Let it breathe. What made this moment resonate so deeply was its contrast. The Golden Globes are designed for spectacle. Bold fashion, rehearsed speeches, carefully timed reactions. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce offered none of that. No outfits to analyze, no sound bites to replay, just absence. And yet, that absence cut through the noise more sharply than any viral moment on stage. Some critics attempted to downplay it, framing the conversation as overblown. But data doesn't lie. Engagement metrics, search trends, and post-event coverage painted a consistent picture. The gravitational pull remained, and gravity, once established, doesn't need constant reinforcement. This shift signals something larger happening in celebrity culture. Power is no longer about dominance through presence. It's about control through restraint. The ability to step back and still command attention is rare, and it's precisely what separates momentary fame from lasting influence. Taylor Swift has crossed that threshold. Travis Kelce is crossing it alongside her. As analysts dissected the night, comparisons emerged. Past icons who once needed every award stage to maintain relevance. Artists who faded the moment they stopped appearing. The contrast was stark. Taylor Swift's absence didn't create distance. It created proximity. People leaned in, not away. Quick cut, tight focus. And perhaps that's the most important takeaway. The audience didn't feel ignored. They felt invited. Invited to speculate. Invited to interpret. Invited to participate in the story. That participation is what fuels modern fandom, and it's why the conversation didn't collapse once answers failed to arrive. In the end, the Golden Globes became a case study rather than just a ceremony. A reminder that cultural dominance in this era isn't about louder performances or bigger stages. It's about narrative ownership. About knowing that sometimes the most powerful move is not to appear at all. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce didn't need applause that night. They didn't need trophies or standing ovations. They walked away with something far more valuable. Sustained attention, amplified curiosity, and a reaffirmation of their place at the center of pop culture's orbit. And as the industry continues to evolve, one lesson from that night will remain impossible to ignore. When the room keeps talking about you after you're gone, or when you were never there to begin with, you're not just part of the conversation. You are the conversation. And being the conversation carries a different kind of responsibility and power, because once an audience realizes that your silence has weight, every future decision becomes magnified. Every appearance becomes an event. Every non-appearance becomes a message. This is the space Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce now occupy, and the Golden Globes merely exposed it in the clearest way possible. In the days that followed, entertainment desks quietly adjusted their priorities. Coverage that initially focused on winners slowly drifted back toward analysis pieces, opinion columns, and think pieces centered on influence. Not box office numbers, not ratings, influence, the kind that bends attention without demanding it. Editors knew what audiences were clicking on, and the data led them to the same conclusion over and over again. What happened that night didn't feel like rebellion against Hollywood tradition. It felt like evolution. Taylor Swift has spent years mastering the art of anticipation. Album rollouts that feel like puzzles. Lyrics that spark weeks of interpretation. Appearances timed to maximum impact. By contrast, her absence from the Golden Globes fit seamlessly into that pattern. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, and therefore impossible to ignore. Travis Kelce, now fully embedded in that rhythm, benefits from the same effect. His presence in pop culture no longer requires a field, a jersey, or a scoreboard. Slow down. Hold the frame. For viewers, this created a strange emotional tension. There was nothing to react to directly, yet reactions poured out anyway. Comment sections filled with theories. Fan accounts broke down timelines. Media personalities debated meaning where none was explicitly offered. That's the sweet spot of modern storytelling. Letting the audience do the work while believing they've discovered something themselves. As more time passed, the Golden Globes itself began to feel secondary. Clips circulated less. Acceptance speeches faded. Fashion breakdowns lost momentum. But discussions about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's absence continued to surface organically, woven into broader conversations about fame, control, and the future of celebrity relevance. The night had become a reference point. Industry insiders quietly admitted what they wouldn't say on record. That award shows now exist inside an ecosystem where attention is decentralized. That the real competition isn't between nominees, but between narratives. And that, on this particular night, the strongest narrative belonged to two people who never appeared on camera. Pattern interrupt. Hard cut forward in time. Weeks later, mentions of the Golden Globes still included their names. Retrospectives referenced them. Trend reports cited them. Even unrelated entertainment news found a way to loop back. That persistence is rare. It's not hype, it's gravity. And gravity doesn't need maintenance. It just exists. What makes this especially compelling is that there was no controversy, no scandal, no provocation, just absence. Clean, controlled, intentional, or at least interpreted as such. And interpretation is where power truly lives. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce didn't challenge the Golden Globes. They didn't undermine it. They simply demonstrated that the cultural center has shifted, that relevance can no longer be scheduled. It emerges where attention gathers naturally, and attention followed them effortlessly. As audiences look ahead, that realization reframes expectations. The next time they appear together, it won't feel routine. It will feel earned, anticipated, charged with the memory of this silence. And that anticipation is already compounding, quietly building value with every day they remain just out of sight. Because in today's media landscape, visibility is easy, mystery is rare, and rarity is priceless. The Golden Globes of 2026 will be remembered not just for its winners, but for what it revealed. That absence, when wielded with precision, can outweigh spectacle. That the loudest statement is sometimes the one never spoken. And that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have reached a level where the world watches most closely, when they do nothing at all. And that is the kind of dominance no trophy can measure.